Hey everyone, we're about to get started. I see a bunch of people logging in to the webinar right now, so we're going to let that happen. As we're getting started for the webinar, I want to say hi and welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have any questions or problems, please comment in the question or chat menus, chat bars over on the sidebar in your GoToWebinar, and I will be monitoring that throughout the webinar. But I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I always say that because we have people from all over the time zones across the world that are either listening to this live or on their recording, because as we all know, in the world of tech, anything that can happen. So the best laid plans can fall apart rapidly depending on what's happening at one of your clients at any one point in time. And I'm here in Florida doing this for SaaSMAX. I'm the director of online channel events, and I have often had situations where, and I'm just going to close that, where during a webinar I've lost power or I've lost internet. So it's always an interesting time in the world of tech. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening once again. And I'm excited to be here hosting you, former MSP, iHeartRadio host, and most of all, your director of online channel events for SaaSMAX. I'm really excited about doing this webinar with you today for Accedian, ending the blame game, find your performance bottlenecks in just 4 clips, because when I was an MSP, one of the biggest problems was always trying to find where the problem was on our clients' networks, especially if it was an enterprise and we were monitoring it, managing it. I remember putting packet sniffers onto the networks and then analyzing it and looking at each of the packets and saying, okay, this is this kind of packet, that's that kind of packet. And the hours and hours and days sometimes it would take to figure out where the problem was coming from. And as our guest host is going to be talking about today, you'll find out how much easier it is now with Accedian's product. So remember to type in your questions, your comments in the question pane or the chat pane, and I will be monitoring. Today we're going to be having Accedian on, and they're going to be talking about their SkyLIGHT PBX program, what SkyLIGHT PBX solves for you. We're going to actually have a live demo where you can see how in just 4 clicks you can see exactly what is going on, where it's going on, right down to the exact spot it's going on. We will talk about their sales model, their pricing and commissions, and how you can get started. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Jay Dosanjh. He is the Channel Sales Director for North America for Accedian, and he has just some really great. So Jay, why don't you pop on video and let's get started.
Okay, great. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for that introduction. And so, yeah, my name is Jay Dosanjh. I'm the Channel Sales Director for North America for Accedian. Welcome, everybody. We're excited to be here. We have a great relationship with SaaSMAX, and as you can see, as we get started here, for all SaaSMAX MSPs and partners, resellers, channel partners, for the first 10 deals, you will receive 50% off after you join our partner program, and I'll get into that. So I've actually been in the channels space for about 20 plus years, and also have been a channel partner myself, and so I'm very excited about the offerings and the opportunity that this provides for channel and MSP partners. Next slide, please. And so really just diving into, what problem do we solve? Right now, as you know, there's many monitoring tools that are out there on the market, but a lot of them are specific, to the vendor or just monitoring one aspect, of the network. There's a lot of network performance monitoring tools, and as well as a lot of application performance management tools. But when you have an organization with many sites and different virtual data centers and apps that are in the cloud, when there's a performance degradation, now you're kind of scrambling. You're going back to all these different tools and trying to figure out exactly what's causing the bottleneck. There's a lot of finger pointing going on. Is it the application? Is it the network? Is it the router, switch? Is it the server? Is it the user? And obviously, the bigger the organization and when there's downtime, there's a lot of lost productivity. So the great thing about Accedian and what we provide is that we can assure the quality of experience right in terms of the application right down to the end user. So basically the problem we solve is that we provide visibility, wide angle visibility that includes all the applications, all the network, and we can assure that the application that has the quality of the user experience. Next slide, please. And so in order to do that, to have complete quality of experience monitoring, there's three important pillars. You definitely have to have the network aspect, the network performance. You have to have visibility into that, the application delivery, and also obviously the application transactions. And so without that, you cannot ensure the application quality of experience. You have to know how the end user experience is being effective, all the applications, how they're delivered, if there's any application errors. And like I said, a lot of these tools, which are great, they're siloed. And what we provide in terms of our product, SkyLIGHT PBX, is that wide angle view. All applications, all users of the applications, these can be your business critical applications, as well as all the network, the lower layers of the OSI stack, layers 2, 3, and 4. So how the network is performing, the routers, switches, etc., the DNS, database. The great thing about SkyLIGHT is that we have that complete visibility, what we call a wide angle view. And with that, as you will see in our demo, within 4 clicks, you can determine exactly where that performance degradation is. And so you're not scrambling and all the finger pointing goes away. And we'll show you that here momentarily in the demo. And speaking of the demo, so let's just jump right into that, and we can show you how this works. Let's see. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So here we have our dashboard, and as you can see, this is very, very simple. So basically, you have a lot of applications here to the left. And as you can see, there's red and orange and green. Red means there's a threshold that's been kind of over exceeded. And in this case, we're tracking end user response time. We're tracking data response time, server response time. So with this application, which is a front end ERP, we see there's some breaches, as you can see in the red. So my first click is to kind of click on the application dashboard. So here we have the application dashboard. I'll scroll down here a little bit. So the blue is basically the server response times. And as you can see, there's some spikes here. So I'll click on this one, which is kind of the highest. But as I kind of hover over that and scroll down here, you notice there's only 5 transactions. And so that kind of tells you that's not really a server issue since there's very minimum transactions. So if I scroll down more, this is the actual server. In this case, there's only one server, and we're looking at the data transfer times, server response times, and a sum of the round trip times. And over here to the right, these are all the different remote locations. So as an MSP, as you know, you may have customers in many remote sites. But as you can see here, Toronto, Lillian, we see that Lille has a very large kind of delay in their response time. So I'm going to click on that to investigate further. And so now I'm in that actual Lille site. And so again, here are all the server response times. And as I'll hover over one that has a pretty high response time here. But again, if you look at the number of transactions to the server, there's only one. So as I scroll down even more to investigate, now I can see all the IP addresses, the users in that Lille site. And right off the bat, I can see that this particular IP address has a large delay in their response time. So I will click on that to investigate further. And so here are the users in that site, Lille. And we also provide TCP analysis here also. So again, it's not just the application. We're also looking at the lower layers of the stack. But as we can see, there's quite a delay here. And so what my last click, I'm going to click on that to investigate this. And now this will show all the HTTP, the web pages that user for that IP address had accessed. And as I scroll to the right a little bit, we can sort it by the round trip times, and right away we see that this particular website or website has had the most delay. So this is what you can provide your application team to investigate further. And as you can see, I did this in seconds. And so you can imagine, as a partner and an MSP, troubleshooting performance degradations, how easy it is, where our analysis provides the network, the applications, the users, and how easy it is to drill down and figure out exactly where that performance degradation is. Okay, back to you, Laura.
Okay, great. Let me just take back control. I love that demo because it just shows how simple and easy it is to now, instead of putting up packet sniffers and everything. But let's dive right into what the market opportunity is.
Absolutely, thank you. And so, as you can see, the NPMD market, which is the network performance market, is growing significantly. As you can see, it's going into the billions. The great thing is that Accedian kind of combines, as I kind of mentioned, application performance management with network performance management. So we're actually looking at everything from layers 2 to layer 7. And as I mentioned before, you get that wide angle view, but the market is exploding, as you know, with digital transformation, with applications that are moving to the cloud. Now you have SaaS applications, you have virtual data centers. It's getting more complicated in tracking performance and really, in these kind of next-gen environments. But the great thing about Accedian, especially with our SkyLIGHT platform, we have a virtual, we can basically do everything virtually on software and get deployed on the VM. And as long as we're capturing data, and this is wire data, we store everything on a data store. And that's the metadata that we store. So it's very easy in terms of implementing and deploying our solution. And the market is exploding, as you know, with all this new digital transformation. But you need the full visibility of all the applications, the users, the network. And this is the value that we provide, to customers and partners and MSPs like yourself. So basically, our value proposition with SkyLIGHT and our platform, again, leveraging network and application performance capabilities, you can troubleshoot faster. You can resolve issues, performance degradations, within 4 clicks, as you saw. You can collaborate among different teams and work together, reducing the risk, especially with migrations. If you're doing, cloud migrations, data center migrations, moving to the cloud. You need that full visibility. As you move applications to the cloud, you still need to know how the underlying infrastructure is going to be performing. And again, us with Accedian, you get that wide angle view that includes hybrid clouds, even software-defined WAN and software-defined networking environments, since we're capturing everything. So you can reduce the risk and have that with that full visibility. And again, avoid any degradations. It's basically proactive monitoring. So for MSPs, you want to be alerted when there's an issue. And so you can customize, the alerts and get an SMS or an email. So you're not hunting for the information, and that's important for MSPs, obviously. And we have that capability with our new release 5.1, which was just launched at the tail end of last year. And so why we're different compared to a lot of other monitoring tools, again, as I mentioned, we have that wide angle view, all applications, all users, all the network visibility. Again, we're not limited just to the application, to the network. We see everything. It crosses all layers from layers 2 to layer 7 on the OSI stack. This includes visibility for SaaS applications, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, whether you're using virtual data centers, have applications on-prem, in the cloud. We see everything as long as we're capturing the data. And so it's very precise, it's very scalable. And as I mentioned, the more distributed and more remote sites, the more applications that are moved to the cloud, the more complex it is to monitor. But we have that wide-angle view. So it's very easy to use. It can be installed in minutes. So basically, PBX is deployed on top in our software version on top of the VMware EXX host. And so that could be done in minutes. And we capture the data immediately. And again, we store that on a data store. And so it's very easy to install. We're non-intrusive. So a lot of other folks in this space, they're intrusive. You have to configure everything, and you have to put hardware in each of the locations and sites, and it becomes very expensive and very complex. And especially they use older methodologies, what we call stream to disk, which you're monitoring performance, but when you deploy this type of solution, you're actually impacting performance. With Accedian, we're very lightweight. We have a very small footprint. There's no performance impact whatsoever. And again, you get that full visibility from layers 2 to 7 with no agents to install. And we also have a CapEx model, OpEx model. So depending on how your business is structured, we can accommodate and work with partners, with any method that they have. Next slide, please. So in terms of the markets, so as I mentioned, this basically addresses all market verticals, whether it's in healthcare, financial, the larger the enterprise, mid to large enterprise, the more complex, the more value they'll see in Accedian. But for MSPs that are servicing, small, medium type of verticals, we can also accommodate and work with you. We'll understand your pricing structure. A lot of MSPs, they like to charge per month or maybe per user, per seat. We can accommodate that. So basically, it's all market verticals, cloud service providers, government, education. They can see a lot of value in SkyLIGHT. And for MSPs, as I mentioned, it's very critical with your customers to identify and troubleshoot exactly where the performance bottleneck is. And as you saw in the demo, it's very, very easy to deploy and use. Next slide, please. So in terms of our partner program, we launched this last year. We made this very channel friendly. There's basically 4 tracks. There's you could be a referral partner where you just refer customers and we close those opportunities on our paper. Or you can be an authorized partner. Basically, it's just a reseller contract that you sign, and basically you get access to our partner portal, deal registration, and we can work with you on those deals collectively. But really for MSPs, you can actually private label our service as your own, and that's what we call an MSP Forex champion partner. And then if you're not an MSP, if you're just a traditional reselling solutions, we also have a track for that. That's called our Forex champion partner. And again, made this very channel friendly. The more investment you do into Accedian, the more benefits you get. So you can kind of grow at your own pace. And it's very easy. Again, we made this very channel friendly to engage with us. Next slide, please. So here's just an example for end user pricing. So basically, again, the way that we price is by the data store. So the great thing about Accedian and for MSPs and partners is that we do not charge for the capture. And so any other, vendor in our space, they basically charge for that. We do not. So basically, again, we're tapping wire data on the fly in real time, but only storing the data, the metadata in our data stores. So an example here, if you have a kind of a small site, let's say a data store with one capture, which is free again, those are list prices. And if you're a Forex champion partner or a Forex champion MSP partner, we're talking about 35 points on deals. And that just gives you kind of a scenario if you have one data center, 2 business critical applications, maybe a few remote sites, and about 7 or 8 different users. That kind of gives you an idea in terms of the margin that you can make. But again, for MSPs that are charging, per seat or per user or have a monthly charge, next slide, please. We will do a workshop. We conduct 4 workshops with you, and we will determine what pricing methodology works in your environment. And so it can be very accommodating for per seat or per user or monthly charge. And again, we do that in a pricing workshop. So we understand your business, your pricing methodology, and come up with the appropriate pricing for you. So again, this is we have a special offer for SaaSMAX Partners, resellers, MSPs. After you sign up to become a partner, Forex partner, your first 10 deals will see 50% discount. But hopefully now, through your head, you kind of imagine the value you can give back to your customers and wrap different services around our solution. So these are recurring revenue streams. So for digital transformation projects, cloud migrations, network and IT infrastructure optimization type services, 24/7 application network, remote monitoring type services, which is critical for MSPs. This is adding a lot of value, with our platform with SkyLIGHT. And so, my name again is Jay Dosanjh. That's my email, my phone number. Please jot that down. I'm going very quickly here, but any interested partners, MSPs, we would love to engage with you and have more of a one-on-one discussion, maybe more of a deep dive. And so definitely look forward to working with you and hearing from you. Next slide, please. Laura, I'm not sure if we can hear you.
You couldn't hear a word I said. See, I was muted and didn't realize it. So what I was saying was, no matter how often I see that demo, I'm still blown away by how quickly and easily you were able to get to the location, the desktop, the application, what exactly it was within seconds, whereas something like that could have taken days to find, and then you could have lost it because it might not itself at that moment where you are going to look. So you're monitoring, but you're monitoring at the wrong moments when that person, say, is using that application at that point in time. So you don't know where the problem is. Which leads me to a question that came in, which I think is a really, really great question related to what I was just saying. Is there a way to set up alerting so that you don't have to keep going back and looking, but knowing that there is a problem around one specific thing and you want to see how frequently it's happening?
Absolutely. So you can set up custom alerting. We do SNMP traps. And so this just actually came out. I know it's mission critical for MSPs out there to get alerted. So you can set up a SMS or text or even an email alert. So absolutely, we have that capability, and you can customize that to your liking. Yes.
Yeah, because I would think that would make a huge difference, because now you can start to track things and bring up reporting. Is there a reporting functionality inside the Accedian product?
Yes, there is a reporting functionality, and actually we didn't get time to get into it in the demo, but you can actually customize your dashboards also and create your custom reports and dashboards, and it's done very, very easily. And so that's the beauty of SkyLIGHT, is that it's very customizable. You can create your custom alerts, and as you can see how easy it is, the GUI, so absolutely, there's a lot of reporting and custom graphs and charts that you can create, and that's done very, very easily. We do have that capability. Absolutely.
Okay, great. That has been disconnected from the network. That's an interesting question.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Can the app detect disconnected from the network?
Yes, I mean, since as long as we're capturing the wire data, so if someone, we can actually determine, who's on, what's off, what's on, and so absolutely, you have that wide angle view. So you can investigate a lot deeper from, what you saw through the demo, since we didn't have time, but absolutely, we're tracking everything. As long as we're capturing the data, you'll get everything at your fingertips, and you'll be able to see everything easily. So the answer is yes.
So that's a great reason to get a curated meeting with you, Jay, to go over a lot of what we couldn't cover inside this webinar just from time constraints, because there's so much more that the product does, that SkyLIGHT does, that it would take hours and hours for us to show any of it. We had to pick something.
Exactly. And so even for folks out there that are, using Citrix, with the remote desktops, Zen app, and, we can actually monitor all those users also.
Okay.
So we have a lot of capabilities. Yeah.
Okay. And are you there?
I'm still on. Yeah.
So either it's mine that's gone, or and let me know. Okay. Okay, can you all hear me now? Hopefully you can. Jay, you hear me again?
Yes,
okay, great. So I do apologize for that. Another question that came in, when selling to a new client, what do you find to be the best lead-in statement that creates the understanding of why this is a need to have in a sector that is so filled with noise and buzzwords and fear-based messaging?
Oh, great question. So, yeah, in engaging with clients, obviously you want everything, the end user has to have a positive experience. So how you, enable that is to have that wide angle view. So for example, if you're on your cell phone and you're accessing an application such as Salesforce, and then you're clicking on it, it's not working, you're like, wow, Salesforce is down. You go back to the help desk, no, application is working fine, it must be the network. So now you're going back to the network and trying to investigate, is the network problem? No, everything's green here, all this finger pointing going on. But the end user is experiencing that, the bad performance. And so they could be, bad mouthing the application. Oh, this is not working. This is not, but really you have to have that positive end user experience. And with Accedian, we can assure that application, quality of experience because we have that wide angle view. And so it all comes down to the user experience because, if anything could go wrong and to troubleshoot exactly what's causing that issue it's a tough problem because again, everything's in the cloud, everything's on-prem, virtual data centers. But with Accedian having that wide angle view, we can assure that quality of experience. And that's what we like to lead with in terms of our messaging and, especially with potential clients, is that we can assure that any application that you get that user experience, a positive user experience. And so that's why it's so important.
Great. And from what I know of you guys in the conversations we've had, you'll work very closely with the MSP partners and reseller partners to help them with that conversation with any leads that they have, correct?
Absolutely. So we will work with all the channel partners. Again, we have that very friendly channel model. And so for MSPs out there saying, well, my customers are smaller, I only have a few remote sites, we can work with you. Whatever pricing methodology you use, we will do a workshop. There's 4 workshops that we do, pricing, operations, go-to-market, and we'll have the correct pricing structure, and we will support you, throughout that entire process. So we can get you guys up and running and have this actual labeled as your own service, your own network and application performance management service, as soon as a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we can get that going. And again, it's just a few workshops that we do. We understand your business, and we will support you throughout the entire process. So absolutely, we'd love to engage with you guys and work with you guys going forward.
Okay, we have time for one last question, and hopefully we can get that in. If we go a little long, everybody know that we will record till all the questions are answered, but if you need to drop off, we will make sure that you get the recording. Is span port and network tap required for different locations?
So basically, as long as we have a methodology to capture the data, so whether that's span or tap or vSwitch or port. So whatever, basically the method is acceptable. That's it. That's all it takes. So, as long as we're capturing that wire data, and then we're storing the metadata on our data store. So whatever methodology is there that we can capture the data is all we need. So yes,
okay.
The answer is that we can use all of those methods.
All right. Since we do have some more questions, we'll just keep going on answering the questions. They'll be on the recording for anybody that may need to drop off. Can it also be used with apps that have a server development environment under firewall?
Yeah. So basically, our visibility even includes encrypted traffic. So even at layer 7, you have this encrypted traffic. We're able to see all of that data as long as we're able to capture that wire data. So yes, the answer is yes. We will be able to perform our analysis. So absolutely, the answer is we can see everything, and encrypted traffic, including encrypted traffic. So yes.
Okay. Who does the billing?
The billing. So this is again as a channel partner and MSP. We will work with you to again accommodate your pricing structure. So again, these are your customers, so you can take this. You will bill the customer. We will support you, obviously, as a vendor partner, but we will accommodate, as I mentioned, whether it's a per seat or a flat rate that you're charging monthly. We'll determine that during our pricing workshop. But again, you will bill the customer because again, this is your new service that you're offering to your customers. So you will do the billing to your customers.
Okay. And another question. I'm an MSP, and I like to monitor all of my clients' sites. So how would this work in that kind of environment for me to be able to see in one place all of my clients' environments to take care of this, or does it not?
So we do have that capability. We have role-based access controls. So basically very similar to multi-tenancy. And so with that capability, yes, you can monitor all of those different sites. So with that, rule-based access control. So yes, the answer is yes, we can accommodate that.
Okay, and I know you have a couple of new releases that you're planning to come out. What are some of the new features that are coming out pretty soon, actually?
Yeah, we're really excited. We have a new offering called Data Hub IQ. And basically, it's basically has machine learning. It's an open system, so you can feed in different systems. It's an open API, and basically we're doing machine learning on the fly. You can create graphs, and it's customized to your liking. And so that's coming out very, very soon here, and it's getting a lot of attention in the market. But again, with SkyLIGHT, just our platform here, as you can see, it's so robust. There's no one really doing the complete network and application combined in one solution. And so that's what makes us very unique. And again, it's non-intrusive. We're not using legacy stream-to-disk type approaches. There's no performance impact. You have visibility in hybrid cloud, SaaS applications, virtual data centers. So for digital transformation, this is a key product, and it's just going to get more enhanced with Data Hub IQ. And there's a lot of new products this year and features that you will see that are very, very exciting. But with just SkyLIGHT alone, there's so much power here for MSPs, channel partners. So we're looking forward to hearing from you and going deeper and giving you an overview of what's to come.
Okay. And a couple of people have asked the question whether the SkyLIGHT PBX is going to be part of the commerce platform that SaaSMAX offers for the market to add to people's web stores. Yes, it is currently available, and yes, you can add it to your web store. And you can see Jay's going, yes, you can. Please add it now. It's really great, and as always, our goal is to introduce you to some of the cutting-edge, really amazing SaaS apps that are out there that can transform the way you do business as an MSP or a reseller, and Accedian is definitely doing that. Jay, as you mentioned, you have competitors out there, but nobody really doing it. Somebody did ask the question, how does your service offering stand out from those that you deem to be your competitors? Who are they?
We often get compared to companies such as NetScout, Riverbed, Extra Hop. But again, we're doing, a whole different methodology. Those solutions are mostly streamed to disk, as I mentioned, legacy, and adds a ton of overhead when you deploy them. So it actually impacts performance, in a negative way. They're intrusive, so you have to configure, you have to put a box or a hardware in each of the locations, configure that. So it gets very expensive, very complex. Even to do a POC, it could be very, very expensive when you have different remote sites. As you can see with SkyLIGHT, especially our software version, basically you can capture everything, all that metadata very, very easily. We're deployed on top of a VMware host in minutes. You capture all that data and it's sent to our data store. So whether it's in the cloud, on-prem, virtualized data centers, we make it very easy. And so, and those other vendors don't really have visibility in the cloud, in SaaS applications. We have visibility, that wide angle view in all those different areas. So that's how we differ, from other vendors in this space.
All right. Well, Jay, I want to thank you so much for being here with us today and for demoing the product. I encourage everybody that's on the call, and those of you that weren't able to be here on the webinar are listening to this in the recording, because I know there's a number of you out there who said, please make sure I get this recording because I can't be here on the day of the call. Set up a call with Jay, no pressure, just see what the product can really do, see how it can fit in, add it to your web store. As a former MSP, I wish I had this because it would have saved us hours and hours and days of what we were trying to do with old school packet sniffers, when really all what we needed to do is what this product is doing today. So thanks again, Jay.
Thank you. And
right.
Look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a great day, everybody, or evening if it's nighttime your time, and reach out to our channel chief, Clinton Gatewood, if you want some more information. If you're not a SaaSMAX reseller, register with us today because you saw some of the great products that we have out there and some exclusive offers that are only available to you as a SaaSMAX reseller. Have a great day, everybody.